Hey everybody! So, we have a box from Amazon, of course. We ordered a apple press. This one is a 6L aluminum fruit press. I'll have to get the name of it. Ewoks? Maybe, possible. It's on the corner. We already have an apple press. But it's always good to have a secondary one, especially with as many apples as we deal with. If it breaks, then we don't have nothing to press the apples with. And you can only make so many apple pies, and you can only make so many other canning good recipes, which my wife does. So basically, we're going to reveal this. We're going to test it. And we are going to let you guys know what we think of it. We're going to be pressing a bunch of apples with it, of course, afterwards. And we'll kind of see what happens. Let's start with opening it up. So, it looks like they sealed it up pretty good, which is nice. It's good packing. Taped it up real well. It didn't get damaged in any of the shipping, which is amazing because, you know, a lot of times you get something from shipping. I don't care who it is. It can be UPS. You say fragile and it comes and it's like smashed. It's like, okay. It's a challenge to break this stuff. Up here. Okay, so looks like it's got some pretty good, I don't know if you can see in there, but it looks like they packed it in there pretty good. There's not a lot of stuff on the sides, but there is on the top. Comes with a screen. And let's pull it out of here. Get the little foam off for this candle. Has the drain tube for the juice. Yeah. Ewoks. Or EJ Woks. If you look at the bottom of that, you can actually see the fine print. Let's see if I can get close enough for you. EJ Woks. And then press out. I think I'll leave the styrofoam on so I don't ruin the wife's table. Heaven forbid I ruin the table. Okay, so looks like the press has a very solid handle. Lift it up. Get the screen and stuff out of it. There we go. Alright. Should be able to pull it out of there now. Looks like they put a piece of paper in there to kind of protect that. It's not bad. It looks pretty solid. This looks like this is cast aluminum. We'll see. We got the strainer. And that looks like that's stainless steel. That looks pretty good. That's not bad. And then we got the main pot, the collection pot. And that looks like it's stainless steel, and that actually looks pretty nice. Sits in there pretty good. This one, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the 6-liter. Yes, I did say 6-liter, didn't I? Yes, it is. So, it's not the big one, but it's not the small one either. Everything seems to be there. It all looks good. One thing I wish they would have done is, and it looks like there's holes for it, but I don't see anything. And you could probably go to Menards and get them, but there's holes here, which I'm assuming is for mounting if you want to mount it to like a wood base or something. But you could get rubber feet that are boltable rubber feet that you could put on here that would keep it from sliding around for you and not damage your counter or wherever you're doing it. But this one, yeah, all three. This one does not have any rubber feet on it, so you definitely want to not use it in a place where you don't want to scratch your countertop. And I imagine with the force that you're going to be putting on this, you're definitely going to want to be careful. So, they did a pretty good job. I see one basket, one screening basket. Yep, just one in there. So you get one of the screens, the fine screens. You got your larger mesh that kind of keeps any of the stuff from getting too far. It keeps this solid, but allows through the holes of this to go through as far as like juice goes. Everything looks intact. This of course already went down inside, so we know it fits just fine. It's a nice snug fit, really. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch, so that makes up for 1/8 inch all the way around. If you slide it to one side and you look at that measurement and you split that in half, it's 1/8 of an inch all the way around, which is nice. The pot seems pretty good size, and how does that? Spin that around so we can see it here. There we go. That looks pretty sealed, pretty solid. Let's double check here. It's a crimped fitting, which, you know, it's not brazed on. It's actually crimped, which sometimes they can leak. Those crimp seals don't always hold really well, but that's why we're testing it. We'll see. Okay, so crimped fitting. We've got nice ribs on the press plate. This seems a little loose, but it's got to be somewhat loose so it's able to kind of move around in here a little bit, but maybe a little looser than I'd like to see. Being a mechanic, I don't like things real loose, but I think this thing is going to work fantastic for us, actually. We will definitely see. So that's our reveal of our They call it a fruit press. We're using it for apples. You can use these, and I did read this. You can use them for cheese press if you want. You use the same mesh, of course, and you can get more of these for it. But you can actually use this to make round cheese blocks and press the cheese. So if you are somebody who likes to make cheese, you can actually use this to press it. I think that's all there is for this one. From what I can see, I have gone through it. Threads look really good. They're not like, it's not a cheap threading rod, which is really nice. I mean, you can get really cheap one of these and that's kind of awful. But everything seems pretty solid. She doesn't move around. She doesn't twist, considering it's got 3 extended legs, which is good. The base is solid. I mean, it is solid. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pretty solid base, and it is metal. It's not aluminum. So that's a plus too. You start getting that aluminum stuff and it's never good. We'll see how this top works. Looks like it's replaceable. It's got a nut, so you could replace your rod if you needed to. I suppose worst case scenario would be the housing here, which this threads through, could wear out. But if I am not mistaken, they do show in the book, they do. So, I don't know if you can see it. There's a parts list. So they do offer parts for this thing, which is good. This one, shocking. If you look at this picture, there's only 2 legs. Let's see if there's another one. Aha! So this is for both types. That one is the smaller one. That's the one we didn't get. It's only got 2 legs. You got it looks like it sits on a flat surface, or it could clamp to something, but yeah, we didn't want that. We need a little bit bigger. So they do have a parts list for these. So you can replace your parts if you need, which is fantastic. It really would have been, like I said, it would have been nice if they would have put the rubber feet, but they made it so you can mount it to a base. So if you're outside and you're squeezing outside, you can mount it to a piece of plywood or a nice good sized 2x12 maybe. And it might just make it. Maybe a 16, 2x16. But, so, that's our reveal. We'll let you know how it turns out. It looks like a good unit. We'll find out. The true test is in the pudding. So we'll see what happens when we throw some apple slices in it and give it a try. And we'll bring you along when we go to try it too, so you can kind of see what's going on. But we have that added to our picking apples and prepping apples video. So we will see you, and thanks for watching. We're really happy to have the subscribers, and we hope that you keep following us. We're adding stuff all the time. We work, both of us work, so it's we don't have a lot of time to put together the videos, but we are trying very hard to get them done. My wife does a fantastic job of canning videos, and she has knowledge galore, years of knowledge of canning videos. And me being a mechanic for my whole life, I'm going to be trying to do some videos for repair stuff and stuff that we create. I do have a rabbit cage video that I made. You'll have to put that over there. You link to that one once I get that one done. And till next time, thanks for watching. So we are back, and I gave you my opinion of this apple squeezer, the press itself, of what I thought of it, and we are using it right now. We're trying it. There was a video that my wife's putting out about apple sauce, and to prep for this thing, what we end up having to do is she runs it through a processor, a food processor, and makes it pretty small. We tried doing the bigger pieces. That didn't work. It was just too big for the apple press. So we tried the littler pieces ground up in the food processor, which was my wife's idea. Throw it in a food processor. It was a very good idea. And that seems to work. There's just no way with the bigger pieces that this actually would work the way you would like it to work. You gotta grind it down. It kind of gets into a smaller tub like this. It's pretty small chunks. You could see it in there. They're really small. So we're gonna show you. We've got about half a container. We found out you don't want to put no more than that in there. It's just too much for it. But if you go half a container, it seems to work really well. It presses out really well. The press is durable, I gotta admit. I'll turn the camera here so you can see the juice come out. Now we're gonna press this down now. I'm gonna lower it. Bring it down to the inside. Then get it down in there quite a ways. And we figured out you gotta have help holding this because it turns. If you don't bolt it or screw it down to something solid with these three, I think even if you have the rubber feet like I had talked, it's not going to stay put. It's going to move around. So I would suggest finding something solid to screw it to. Right now we have it on a cutting board, so we're going to have to, I got somebody who's going to hold it for me. And what we did is I have a stool, old-fashioned stool. It's kind of one of those stool ladder sitting below it, as you can see, and I have the hose just over that. So this is, we're going to press this one right here. You can kind of see how well it works. As you can see, it's moving a little bit, even though I got somebody holding it. But when you got it cut and chopped up that well, it really helps get the juices out. And you can hear that thing squeak. She's moaning. She does not like this. It does have, as you saw, the bag, which filters out all the, even the small particles. You're still going to get some particles in there, we found out, but not as many as if you were to have just the holes from the screen itself, because it has that screen that I had talked about. So that's about it. And then we found out if you tip it up just a little bit, you can get the rest of it out. Like that. And I also learned a lesson a couple times too. Once you loosen this to go put more in, and you think, okay, all the juice is out. I'm going to take this all the way up. And you want to hang on to this so it doesn't spin and fling all the, if there's any on top, it'll fling it all over the place on you. But you get this far and you think, okay, all the juice is out. I made the mistake of thinking it was out, and I started tipping this thing forward to get it out of here. And I didn't hold the hose down, and as you can see, and now it's not going to do it. Before it did it to me. So, that would about figure. Take that out, and then you got the actual diced up apples. They're all crushed up, they're all squished, and the juice is out of them. Now what we do is we'll take this bag, we'll put it into her container here, and she's going to process this, and this is our juice, and we're going to go from there. My opinion, raise the camera back up. I was going to give you my opinion of this. It doesn't hold a lot. Even though it's the bigger one, it doesn't hold a lot. It is strong. It's got a lot of force to it when you screw it down. You will have to have it fastened to something. So that's kind of a downfall. You can't just free float it and try to squish it. It just ain't going to work, especially with the force that you put on it. The screw has held up pretty good, but I can already see, and I'm going to turn on the little camera and show you this. Okay, if you look right in there, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm trying to hold it still. Maybe not. There is what looks like shavings from the metal. You can see it on my finger now, maybe. That is from the stress of the screw trying to push that down, and inevitably it's coming from up inside here, dropping onto that. Is it strong? Yes. This evidently is not stainless like I was hoping it was going to be. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it on my finger there, I wiped some off of the threads. I did put some mineral oil on the threads to help it so it's not dry, but you can still hear it squeaking. The fact that we're getting shavings down here kind of tells me that this thing didn't have a stainless steel rod, or the stainless steel, this is stainless steel and the aluminum's eating away, which means this press eventually is going to wear out after so many turns. So I would suggest keeping maybe some Vaseline or mineral oil, something that is food safe that you can put on the threads to keep that. And then make sure to keep an eye on how many shavings you see down here. Maybe a couple drops of oil in the pivot head to kind of keep that from wearing out on you. Otherwise, strong unit, well built, other than, this section here. But that's always a tough one with anything that's being used to press stuff. The screen basket, very durable. It's held up to all the pressure we put onto it. No leaks on the main tub, which is good. I like the fact that they have the long hose here. I think I would go with a longer hose just so you don't have to find a way of putting it in something. If you had a real long hose, you could run it down to a pail or a jar or something and put it inside so it's not flopping all over the place. Realistically, for the value of what I paid for it, I think it's worth it. I wouldn't want to pay much more than that, but Again, this is it's an Ewok or Ewak. I have no idea. Iwok. It's got a weird name to it. I said it in the beginning of the video. I showed you the pamphlet on it. And what I can do is I can show you here with the portable camera. There it is. So, like I said, the basket looks pretty solid in there. It held up pretty good. I'm impressed with the basket. Not impressed with the fact that it's already dropping shavings, but is what it is. I would definitely say it's worth owning if you're doing small stuff and you're not doing a lot of apples. But if you're going to do a lot of apples, like massive amount of apples, this is too small and not the way to go. So that is my review. Thanks for watching us. Check out the video. I'll put it up there of my wife's apple cider and other videos that pertain to this. And we'll see you again next time on Meadows. See you later.